Hello, my name is Cole Carter. I am in the ENT 640 Section 50 Summer 27 class. I would like to discuss protecting against fraud for businesses or organizations. First, I would like to define internal control, which according to the Business Dictionary is a systematic measures instituted by organizations to basically protect their assets. Also to make sure that the business is conducted in an orderly and efficient manner. Again, to safeguard its assets and resources, to detect or prevent errors, fraud, and theft, to ensure accuracy and completeness of its accounting data, to produce reliable and timely financial and management information, and just to make sure that these policies and plans are followed. So again, I received this this definition from Business Dictionary. Okay, so are there different types of internal control? Yes. We have preventive and we also have detective control. I will begin by defining preventive control, which is designed to prevent errors before, that's the key word, before it happens. So this preventive control is very proactive. Also, preventive and detective uses security measures. So giving permission to utilize business physical equipment, or security measures are used, such as the inventories. So sometimes you may go to a business and you notice that in order for employees to get into the building, they must use ID cards. That's a security measure. Or you may notice that in order to log on to any type of computers, they must put in certain credentials that basically attaches their name to a particular computer. So these are security measures that are used within organizations and business. Another preventive control is the segregation of duties. Duties that are delegated to specific individuals who will be held accountable and who are also the point of contact. So this too will reduce inappropriate actions. For example, physical tracking or inventory management system. So if something needs to be authorized, then there must be some type of approval process first, okay? And even after the approval process has taken place, there must be some type of tracking or recording transaction. So again, these different types of physical trackings or inventory management will make sure that individuals are held accountable. So next we'll discuss the detective control, which are intended to find errors after. That's the key word, after they occur. So of course, I'm pretty sure maybe some of you are familiar with some of the examples, such as the audits. The audits will come into your business, the organizations, they evaluate your program, just the way the company is ran. And if they come across any type of errors, then of course they will make recommendations to improve the control. Also, there is the physical inventory, where there is actually counting items, physical labor. You're actually counting items, and also manually looking through files. So there may be computers that are assigned to different individuals. There may be 150. So you will notice that there may be security codes or barcodes on each computer. So that way you're able to keep account of the equipment within your organization. Also, review files or performance. These are benchmarks to basically measure whether or not your goals and objectives are being met. And also, if there are any errors that are identified, they want to be able to follow up to make sure that any changes that have been basically suggested, they want to see whether or not these have been implemented and if they're working, and if so again, follow up may be required. So a model for internal control. Some may say, well, how do I put this internal control in place? Well, according to Wikipedia, the COSO, which is the Committee of Sponsoring Organizations of the Treadway Commission, this organization fight against corporate fraud. They were established in the United States, and what they did was they came up with 5 framework components. The first one is the control environment, and I'll show you a model of that. Control environment is the first one, okay, in yellow. Control environment is they're basically setting the tone for the organization. So just for example, something as simple as the attire that you wear to work. Everyone's supposed to come in with brown khakis, brown skirts, and white shirt. So if you notice someone coming in with red shirt and black pants, you know something is out of order, right? Okay, so that's basically, or before you walk through the business doors, there are no headphones on or no phones in use. So you know that as soon as you walk through those doors, you must put away that phone and those earplugs, or you're going to be out of order. So this is setting the tone for the organization. And then we have risk assessment. So if there are any potential risks that could happen, a plan is already put into place. And this is the second, okay? Okay, and also the information and communication systems. So they want to make sure that this information is communicated to the employees. Everyone should be on the same page of any information that is exchanged. So this will enable people to be able to carry out their responsibilities. And then you also have control activities. These are the policies and procedures that help ensure management are carried out. So once you exchange this information, the policies and procedures, most of the time they're given to each employee in hard copy. You may walk around the organizations and see them up on bulletin boards. So this is to make sure that this information is carried out. And then lastly, the monitoring. This is to make sure that to see how this internal control process is being performed over time. Is it working? Okay, and if it isn't, then they need to go back and come up with a plan to make sure that the organization is following policies and procedures or acting in a way that the internal control will be satisfied with. So again, this is the chart. Okay, so next we want to discuss customer credit and what type of inventory system can we come up with for that. So first I'd like to define credit, which is Wikipedia defines it as credit is the trust which allows one party to provide money or resources to another party where the second party does not reimburse the first party immediately. A lot of words, huh? Well, let me go over 2 types of consumer credit. Maybe we'll understand a little better. So the first one is installment credit. Installment credit is basically credit for a specific purpose. There's a defined amount, and you basically pay this payment at a specific time, which is usually at the end of each month, okay, or each month. So for example, if you want to go to Lowe's or Sears and buy a large appliance, you may want to go to a car dealership and purchase an automobile, or you may want to go to the furniture store. Well, this is what you call installment credit. There's a specific purpose, a certain amount, and you know that you will pay this amount each month, okay? And then we have revolving credit. This type of credit is used for any type of purpose, and usually you receive any type of loans or types of credit cards for this. You can take it anywhere and use these funds, but you want to be careful because if you make these payments late, a late fee can be added. So we want to avoid that. So now let's discuss the advantages and disadvantages of customer credit. The advantages includes immediate access to be able to purchase these goods or services, and you're able to pay it later. A lot of people refer to them as an emergency fund, where they're able to again purchase it and pay later, and they're also able to pay an affordable amount monthly. But the disadvantages includes if payments are not made, it can affect your individual credit, and you can also incur late fees. So an inventory system that customers can come up with to protect their credit. So I will advise them individuals can receive one free credit report every year. Okay, annual credit report allows businesses to qualify consumers, evaluate risk, and identify fraud. This is something that could be used. Also, a credit card accountability, responsibility disclosure. This is your rights. These are things that you need to know in order to be able to responsibly use these credit cards. Okay, and this was passed by the United States Congress, and it was signed by the United States President Barack Obama on the 22nd of May 2009. Okay. And also, I will encourage check billing statement consistently. Okay, don't just get your mail, but you want to review it. And this will ensure that you are familiar with any charges on there. If not, contact them immediately. So now I would like to discuss employee theft. Well, what is theft? Again, I received this different definition from the Business Practical Knowledge website. Employee theft is any stealing, use, or misuse of an employer's asset without permission. So what are some types of example of employee theft? Well, money is the most common asset stolen from employers, okay? But a lot of people don't think about the time. Sometimes employees are paid for time that they actually didn't write. So sometimes they may put down a certain amount of time that they said that they actually worked, but they really was not on the job. So time, also supplies, something simple as pens, paper, computers, restaurant supplies. You may think, hey, I need a little bit ketchup because I'm having hot dogs and fries tonight. Well, that's stealing. Or merchandise. Hey, you may work at Gap or something, or you be like, oh, that's a real nice t-shirt. Well, I work here, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take it. Well, guess what? You're stealing merchandise. And also information. Businesses work very hard. I'm pretty sure many of you entrepreneurs know you work very hard on trying to start out this business, and the information is very valuable. So for someone to take your information and sell it, that's theft. So what are some types of methods of employee theft? Well, it's been reported that larceny and embezzlement, which basically taking money, scheming, not being truthful, fraudulent disbursement, and stealing business opportunities. You may know of a contract, maybe a lawn service contract. You may have went out there. The individual didn't like the price. What you do? You keep that number. You call them back and say, hey, I can do this for a little bit cheaper. Stealing business opportunity. So employee theft, internal control, what can you do? Background checks. Also, you want to have accountability for every position in the company. No position should have a broad power to authorize things without the consent of another. You can't have somebody to do something and then they don't have anyone to approve it. That's a no-no. Then consistent meetings to reiterate to everyone the anti-theft policies. And lastly, always stay vigilant. Know what's going on and not allow things like this to simply cost you your business. So thank you so much for allowing me to discuss internal control, the notion of internal control, customer credit, employee theft. If you have any questions, please let me know.